Welcome to Webb Weekly Live, the October 5th edition, and we're downtown in the beautiful Chamber of Commerce building. Steph, how are you this morning?
I'm good, how are you?
Wonderful.
Yeah, their building's a little swankier than ours, so we decided to take over the chamber today.
Well, that's a good idea, and I love the view behind us of the old bank, and like we always say, it would be the perfect setting for a good old-fashioned movie, a bank robbery, and
yeah, that would
stagecoach heist. Anyway, we might as well, we have a busy show today. Let's get right into it.
Well, this week kicks off Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so we've got several great articles in the paper about that. Susquehanna Health System and Evangelical were both nice enough to contribute several stories. We have everything on screening options to the link between genetics and breast cancer to navigating your treatment, so be sure to check that out. And Lou has a companion story about everything that the American Cancer Society does to just get that information out there. Lou also has a great story about the kids at Curtin Middle School and their Socktober event. They'll be collecting socks for the homeless in the area all month long. And then Jamie Spencer has a great story. He had the opportunity to talk with Williamsport High School's offensive lineman Kurt Daniker. So he's got a great check-in on Millionaire football. And speaking of Jamie, I want to make sure that we put it out there so that everyone knows that Jamie and Paul are actually covering Williamsport's game on Saturday.
This Saturday down at Delaware Valley. It's going to be a huge game, and both teams going in undefeated.
Yeah, and I think that kickoff is at 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock,
so Jamie and Paul will be starting around 3:50 with their pregame.
And guess, since it's at 4 o'clock on a Saturday, guess who else is going to be there?
Are you going to head down?
Absolutely. I just can't wait to see the track meet that the Williamsport offense has become and watch Coach Cruz's team. So
that should be a good game. So be sure to check that out.
And while we're on high school football, I got to put a plug in for Gary Chrisman and Babe Mayer. They have the Southern Columbia Montoursville game Friday night on our Webb Weekly.
And that's also supposed to be a good game, right?
Another great matchup, and also 2 undefeated teams. So we have 4 undefeated teams on Webb Weekly Live on Friday Night Lights, which is actually Saturday also this week.
Yeah, that sounds like a good time. So
yep.
Be sure to check that out. And so that pretty much covers all of the big things happening in this week's issue.
And I just have to take a minute, and October's become a special month because of pink, and everybody seems, no matter where you look, from the NFL to the local junior football, soccer, everybody seems to have put their arms around the support of Breast Cancer Awareness Month and pink. And I just have to take the time to say that make sure you're talking with the loved ones in your life, the women in your life, and
Absolutely.
make sure they're taking precautions. And a lot of times men don't want to talk to their mothers or grandmothers, but all I'll say is it's better to talk and feel a little uncomfortable than not to have said something.
Yeah, and not to make you in any way uncomfortable, but ladies, please make sure you're doing, your self checks every month. When you hit that 40 age mark, make sure that you're getting your yearly screenings. Talk to your doctor about what's right for you, but early detection has always been the key. So make sure that you're doing those self checks every month. That's really important.
Excellent. So what else we have?
It's my favorite time.
Oh,
I get to give away your stuff. So this week we have a $25 gift card to Hannah's Asian Bistro. They've got great food up there. Their sushi and their hibachi are both fantastic. So we've got a gift card for there.
Another one of the boys' favorite places.
Yeah. So since we're hanging out at the chamber, we've got a chamber-related question. So who was the first chairman of the Board of Trade, which would then become the Williamsport-Lycoming Chamber of Commerce? So who was the first chairman of the Board of Trade? Answer below. First person to answer wins the gift card.
I have no idea.
I'm not gonna lie, I had to go digging for the question this week, so to find something chamber related. So.
Well, we're going to take a break for the Fairfield Auto Group, and we appreciate all they do. Great specials at all the dealerships this month, and we're going to come back, and we're going to have one of our favorite people to sit down with, the head of the Chamber of Commerce, Vince Matteo.
Over 30 years, one family of dealerships has grown to include 14 brands at 8 locations on an unyielding commitment to hometown values and unrivaled service, selection, and customer satisfaction for 30 years. Fairfield. For fair deals. You're gonna love us.
And we're back downtown here at the Chamber, and I got boss man, Mr. Vince Matteo.
How you doing today?
Wonderful. How are you, sir?
Good to see you again. How's she doing?
She's good. She
I'm hanging in there.
keeps
Good.
me out of, most importantly, keeps me out of trouble.
I
She
try
can't
anyway.
be paid enough to do that job.
I got to thank you again. We love coming down here.
I'd love to be here.
A
Happy
great
here.
setting, and I love downtown Williamsport.
Yes.
But,
I just like your conference room.
Isn't it nice? Yeah.
but I'm going to turn it over to Steph. She's got some great things to ask you about.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot coming up in the area for the Chamber and in the county in general. First Friday is this week.
Yes, it is.
So there's a lot going on downtown. Hopefully the weather will cooperate, but if not, you can just duck in the little galleries and get yourself
Yeah,
something
I
to
think
eat.
Friday's
you know?
looking good. I
Yeah.
think the weekend might be tougher, but Friday's looking good if the weathermen are right. So we'll see. Yeah, exactly.
about half.
Big if.
But some of the big things coming up for the Chamber is the fall foliage train excursion and the Great Pumpkin Express. So why don't you tell us a little bit
Well,
about
that's
that?
coming up October 29th and 30th, and those trains sell out. I was just walking through the visitor center to get up here to the boardroom, and there was a lady in there buying tickets. So it's coming up, as I said, the 29th and the 30th of October. We have two departure times on the 29th, the 11 and 2:30, and then on the Sunday, it's 12, 2, and 4. So I would recommend if they want tickets to come down.
Say, how
or
much are
call.
tickets? Where do you get them?
Tickets, I believe, are $10 per person. You can get them in person here at 102 West 4th Street at the Visitor Center, or you can call 327-7700.
All right, well, that sounds good. It looks like it's a fun time. Kids, adults, everybody
Yes,
get out
it
of
is.
the house.
Yep,
see-
and hopefully the leaves will change by then and be in beautiful color.
Is there a bar car on the train?
There's no bar car, Jim. That's why you and I don't attend, probably. But
just thought I'd ask.
yes, we have this, and then of course in December the big one,
Oh,
the
yeah.
Polar Express. I mean, those tickets go extremely fast.
And it's not too early to get the plug
Oh,
out there. I
I'll
mean,
tell you, it's amazing how quick those tickets will go.
So
It
be sure
is.
to check out that great event. It's a great way to celebrate fall. You do have another project, and this is something I was really curious about, and I've been kind of reading into it, but I'd really like to hear it from you. Tell me about this Emerson project.
The Emerson project is something I'm really excited about. It's something new to our area, and I think it's something we've needed for a long time. Let me just give you a little background. We created about 2 years ago now the Economic and Community Growth Corporation, which is a 501c3 economic and community development organization, and it will be picking up a lot of what the Chamber does over the years, because being a C3, it gives us more funding opportunities. The Chamber, as you all are aware, have a leadership Lycoming program, and that helps to develop young leaders in the community. But there's another level of leader, both business and community leader, that we haven't been getting, and that is that individual who perhaps is a senior level management, maybe the second in command of an organization, or the first in command of a small organization, that needs that little extra mentoring to get up to be what you'd really call a full-fledged community leader, or be able to take over the reins of a business or an organization as its CEO, either one they're working at or a different one. Right. And this project is this mentor project, which by the way is called the Emerson Project after one of the most famous mentor-mentee relationships was Ralph Waldo Emerson and Henry David Thoreau. And Emerson was Thoreau's mentor. And so we named it after Mr. Emerson in honor of that mentor-mentee relationship. Anyway, what we wanted to do was take half a dozen people who are at that level I spoke about, give them they're going to meet as a group once a month during the course of the year. Each one will be assigned a mentor, someone who's an established community leader and recognized both business and community leader. And they will develop a relationship where they actually will help each other. I think as the mentee will probably help the mentor as much, but a lot of it's personal development skills. So that's about as easy as I can say it at a short time. But anyone who has an interest in it, please call the Chamber and ask for me, and I'll give them all the information.
And it sounds like a fantastic program.
Great.
It is. It's exciting. There are a lot of larger communities have this type of program, and so we're going to give it a shot here.
And we got to take a little commercial break. My good friend Rick Quigley, Fairfield Auto Group, celebrating their 30th anniversary, and great deals. And we'll be right back.
For over 30 years, Fairfield Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has had an unyielding commitment to hometown values. And we know how important those are to you. When you think Fairfield, you think unrivaled service. And of course, it's where Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Rams cost less. Check out deals like this during the celebration event and Ram Power Days event. Fairfield for fair deals. Fairfield, you're gonna love us.
And we're back with Vince, and there's no truth to the rumor that you and I are going to have our own comedian act together.
Well, we could. I'd have to get more money than you, though,
Yeah.
but I think, because
That's
I'm
true.
funnier.
That's for those extra years of experience.
Yeah, you may get it for better looking, attract a certain viewer there, but no, I'd get it for being funnier.
Hey, I want to take a minute here. Our good friends at the Sun Gazette.
Yes,
You
yes.
do the Chamber Connection every month.
That's our monthly newsletter,
And,
correct.
and great stuff in there every month, but I want you to take time. If folks aren't aware of it, it can be found in the Sun Gazette.
Yes, the first Monday of every month, and we've been doing that, boy, I don't know how long now, probably 9-10 years with the Sun Gazette in partnership with them, and it helps not only. The reason we did it was we wanted more people to know what the Chamber was doing than just our members, because you would mail the
Sure.
monthly newsletter out. And we came up with this concept, the Sun Gazette, to their credit, and bought into it, and we've been doing it, again, 9-10 years, I don't even know anymore. It comes out the first Monday of every month. It's inserted in the Sun Gazette. It's we think a great piece, and it tells a lot about what's going on from the Chamber and the Visitors Bureau point of view, our programs, our projects. I do a monthly editorial in it, which grabs the ire of some people every once in a while.
You're preaching to the choir.
Yeah, I
amongst
know,
this group.
I know.
I love to read your.
Yeah, well, I've always said you're the second best columnist in Lycoming County, Jim.
Well, there we go.
Oh, man, does that make me the third?
Oh, wow,
No.
I'm the second, he's the third. But it also gives us a chance to tell the story about some of the great businesses we have in Lycoming County, whether they are for-profit or not-for-profit organizations.
And you beat me to it, and that was where I was going to ask you. I mean, obviously a great way to inform the general public what's going on with the
Yes,
Chamber.
yeah.
And also to talk about local businesses, anniversaries, new openings.
Exactly. We have the cover of this month's here in October. The top one was there's new ownership over at Neville's Flowers in Montoursville there, which is a great florist, I think. And despite the new ownership, I think you'll find just as good a service. So it's that type of thing to let people know what's happening in the local business community and some of the new and old
And not in this
businesses.
one, but in the last one, Julie's Coffee celebrated their
20th anniversary. Hard to
downtown.
believe, yes.
And hey, why don't you stiff me and not put it in the Webb Weekly?
Well, no, we can't. We can negotiate, I suppose, but I want to get the Sun Gazette so we can go back and forth, like.
Well, and I'm putting Vince on, but there is a
He's
good
good.
reason. I want everybody to understand that obviously it's a big product.
Yeah, it is,
And the Sun Gazette does a great job of,
and they do, and we
promoting you and
yes.
the cost. To direct mail this out to everybody would.
Well, that was killing it. We I forget what it was. Now it used to 9 or 10 years ago. For us to produce it, a year was like $19,000. Now it's not
Exactly.
costing us anything. So,
And-
other than our time to put it.
Absolutely.
And it's
So-
a great deal. They were very generous to do it, and it helps them too. Let's be honest. It's getting
Oh.
something out of that. They're getting
And-
something out of it too, and that's great. But you never know down the road what's going to happen.
No,
Jim.
I think they do a great job with you guys, and again, the key is keeping the costs down.
It is, and
because
getting the
obviously-
word out.
And also, we should talk, it can be found online too.
It is. If you go to our webpage, williamsport.org, O-R-G, and there's a little icon on the front page, and everyone actually going into the past is archived there. So if you want to go back and look up a different business or something else, it's also available there. You can also, I believe, access it through our Facebook page as well. So it's all over the place.
Vince all the time.
No. There's one little column of mine, and one time I was away, and it was actually we were. I think it was when we were in Japan visiting our
I called you, didn't I?
son. No, you didn't call me in Japan. But yeah, usually do on vacation. Now, we were visiting our daughter and son-in-law. They were stationed in Japan in the Marine Corps, and Jason Fink had to write the column, and he said, don't ask me to do that again, because coming up with an idea is not that easy.
No, it is. Anyway, anything you want to cover in closing here?
No, I think if you get a chance, please take a look at the Chamber Connection every month. In particular, this issue, there's a great article about the Visitors Bureau and the fact that we just hosted some bus tour operators from different areas on the East Coast. And we take them on what's called a familiarization tour, and it shows them what, the Hiawatha and our museums and the historic district they went to over a 2-day period, and are hosted by different restaurants for lunch and different Little League World Museum, those type of things. So that what that does then is these tour bus operators now know, hey, this is a place I can bring our people, either on a 1-day or an overnight trip, or on a pass-through when they're going to New York or somewhere else. They stop, they stay overnight here, they do a couple of things, and then move on. Yeah.
Got to bring that tourism to Williamsport.
Bring everybody, more other people's money. There's nothing like it.
Absolutely. Well, hey, our plan is to get here the beginning of every month.
Excellent.
Sit down with you for a couple minutes, see what's going on, and let Steph ask the important questions and let me joke around with you a little bit.
Yes,
So,
okay. And then, I'll wait for your call next time I'm on vacation.
there you go. So we're going to take a commercial break. Good friends at Fairfield Auto Group, and we'll be back with our good friends down at the Williamsport Police Department.
Over 30 years, one family of dealerships has grown to include 14 brands at 8 locations on an unyielding commitment to hometown values and unrivaled service, selection, and customer satisfaction for 30 years. Fairfield. For fair deals. You're gonna love us.
And we're back, and I lost Jimmy along the way. Somewhere between the Chamber of Commerce and the Williamsport Police Department, Jimmy fell off the map. I think he stopped to get an early lunch. But I do have Captain Jody Miller here with me. Captain, thanks for chatting with me.
Yeah, good to see you again.
So last week, Jimmy and I sat down with District Attorney Eric Linhart to talk about the heroin situation in the city and the county and the area. And it's a huge epidemic. This is a really big problem in our area. And one of the things that we talked about was the new treatment referral program that the police department's working with the DA and Project Bald Eagle with. So why don't you give me your perspective on the program?
Yeah, I was invited by Steve Shope at Project Bald Eagle to a meeting, and the whole concept of the referral program came up. And as soon as he said it, I was very excited about the opportunity for our officers to get involved in that program. I mean, obviously on our side as law enforcement, we're involved in the enforcement aspect of this epidemic. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, I mean, we're going to continue to make the arrests as necessary, and we will prosecute the cases through the DA's office as necessary. But the question is, what else can we do? What else can we do to be part of a solution here? So when given the opportunity, we absolutely jumped on it. So basically what our role is going to be is that when we have interactions with somebody, either through an arrest or a medical call or some episode that brings the police to a potential person who's abusing opioids, we're going to ask them or try to have some type of conversation with them as to, hey, have you tried treatment? Are you looking to try some programs or treatment, or would you like help? And then, hey, don't be surprised if somebody may reach out to you at a later time. Mm-hmm. The idea then is we're just going to pass on the very basic minimal information, just basically a name and a phone number and the type of contact we had. It's through a secure website that we can do after our contact with the person, and that'll go to one of the recovery specialists at Project Bald Eagle, and then they will try to reach out to the person to see if they can help them set up a consult, set up some type of a program, see whatever assistance they can offer that person. I explained to our officers, and we had Steve Shope come in and talk to our officers. The cars say protect and serve, and as a police department, we have to figure out what are the other things we can do to serve the community. Right. This is obviously a big problem, and if making that referral helps one family, if making that referral saves one life, this entire program is worth it.
Absolutely. And it's really, I like the idea of the not waiting, not waiting for someone to be released on bail or whatever, and immediately going back on the streets to use again and be arrested again, even before they've come to trial or anything the first time around. Anything that's funneling people into help as soon as possible is always a good thing. And the whole community is really happy and thankful that you guys are all out there trying to do this. And always to Project Bald Eagle, who's done a great job with trying to get people as much treatment as they can in the area. It's always been my opinion that one of the biggest ways to stem heroin and opiate abuse is to talk to the kids and really make them understand how dangerous these drugs are. That if we can cut that off and they don't get into that adulthood mindset of, well, it's just a pain pill, it's well, my doctor prescribed it, so it's okay. Mm-hmm. What are your recommendations to parents out there for helping to prevent drug abuse in kids?
I can tell you personally, once I learned some more information through Steve, through how some of the start to some of this issue for some people, I mean, you're just absolutely shocked to see the volume of people that are being controlled by this drug and just the wide varieties of life that are being controlled by this drug. I mean, this drug has no boundaries, black, white, rich, poor. It doesn't matter. This drug is affecting families across the Commonwealth and across the country. But yeah, getting back to how some of the prescription pain medicines has really jump-started that. I've heard some stories over the last weekend. I was talking to some people I know who coach football and are involved with football, and they were telling me stories how former players, kids that went to colleges and got an education and came from great backgrounds, ended up having football injuries, and then started taking prescribed medications for the pain, and were never able to get out of that habit to the point where they started abusing heroin to the point where now they're deceased. It's such a sad story. So I can tell you personally, as a husband and a father, when we go to the doctor or if we have a surgery or something like that, that's going to be a question I'm going to ask. What type of medications are you prescribing? What are the doses? What are the lengths? Because I don't want to see somebody that I know or that I love get to the point where just from prescribed medicines from a doctor, they're going to become dependent on pain relief. So that's something that I think for all of us is something we can very easily do, which is just ask some additional questions at your doctor's office. I think that is probably the biggest thing we can do to help not let somebody go down that road from the very start.
And as always, as parents, make sure that your prescriptions are put away. They're out of reach. There are boxes all over the county where you can dispose of prescription medications.
Yes, we have one here.
There's one here. There's sheriff's office in I believe there's one in the county courthouse. You can find them all over the place. Speaking of disposal and boxes, let's talk about this box here.
This was just an example. For some people that just may not, get any other sense of what we're dealing with. We get these free of charge from the emergency room. They're very gracious enough to get them, give one to us. And this is just, I don't know what the time span on this. It doesn't take very long, but these are needles from people that we've had contact with here in the police department, whether it be on a traffic stop or a mere encounter or conducting some type of investigation, that we've come across these needles. And we'll get to the point where the box fills up and we'll hand it into the hospital for proper disposal, and we'll get another empty one. And unfortunately, that's the process right now that we're in. So the education part that you're talking about is extremely important. The education part, whatever we can do within the referral program for those that are already addicted and that are suffering from this, we're willing to do whatever we can do to help those families and those individual people suffering. However, we are still going to do our enforcement aspect. I mean, that is what we're here for.
Absolutely.
We're going to follow the laws of the Commonwealth to the best of our ability. And, we do wish everybody that's suffering from this well, and we want to see them get their life turned around.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you very much for taking
Sure.
some time
Thank
to talk
you.
to me. I appreciate it as always. And again, anything, if you have a family member or a friend or someone you know that needs help, please do what you can to get in touch with someone that can help them. Project Bald Eagle or West Branch Drug and Alcohol. Call the police department. They can point you in the right direction. Again, thank you to Captain Miller for joining us today.
Yes, just to add to that, Project Bald Eagle does have a website where you can log on if you're a family member. If you're concerned about a family member or friend that you believe is addicted at this point, you can do a referral. You can do the referral for that family member as well, and they will reach out to that person.
That's a great tidbit of information that I
Yep.
didn't know. So
Yep.
thank you again to Captain Miller. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we've got Juliana's Web Kids segment. She's down the street at Flyworld.
Over 30 years, one family of dealerships has grown to include 14 brands at 8 locations on an unyielding commitment to hometown values, an unrivaled service, selection, and customer satisfaction for 30 years. Fairfield. For fair deals. You're gonna love us.
Hello, I'm Juliana from Webb Kids. This week I'm at Flyworld inside the Liberty Arena with Anthony Cachera. Hello, how are you doing?
I'm good, Juliana. Thank you for coming down today. She's definitely no stranger to Flyworld.
Nope, not at all. I come here all the time. So what's your job here at Flyworld?
My position is the operations manager. There's a whole list of things I cover. Number one rule is to have fun, but also I'm looking out for the safety of all the jumpers.
So could you take us on a really quick tour, please?
Of course, let me show you around. Main court here off to our left. There's a lot of trampolines here, can fit a lot of jumpers. This is just to show off your tricks, jump off the walls, jump from trampoline to trampoline. A good spot to just hang out and bounce around with your friends. Off behind us here is the 2 dodgeball sections, which is definitely a crowd favorite. 9-on-9 is what we can hold for the games. And if you're out in dodgeball, you can always show off your tricks on the 2 basketball hoops.
So how do you reserve birthday parties here?
Birthday parties can be reserved one of 3 ways. You can call us at 570-505-1105. You can log on to our website, which is flyworldtp.com, and do everything from the website. Or you can stop in, check it out, and reserve with us here at the desk.
How do you reserve a time here at Flyworld?
Same way, you can log on to our website. There's a great option. You can pick any time of the day we're open. Click on when you would like to come in and how many friends you'll be bringing, and they'll reserve your time for you right there.
Have you guys ever had a kid gotten sick here?
We have, usually after too much pizza and birthday cake, and then they come down and try to jump more. It doesn't happen too often, but when it does, we have an excellent staff, cleans it up promptly, and then we're back to business.
Well, I'm sorry I asked, but I can't wait to come back here with my friends.
Not a problem. I always look forward to seeing you. I know you do some pretty cool tricks out there, so can we see one before you head out?
Can you hold this, please?
Of course.
Peace. Back to you, Jimmy.
And we're back from another great segment with Juliana down at Flyworld with Anthony Cachera. Always a good time at Flyworld.
Always is, and I got to give a shout out to Dan Klingerman. That whole project downtown, the Liberty Arena, Flyworld, and what a true feather in the cap of Williamsport and of our area.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. It's been a great addition to the area. It's nice to have another attraction. It's always great to have something for the kids in the area to do. Liberty Arena is great to make sure that you can still compete even if the weather's nasty. So.
Absolutely, and I always love Juliana's peace out endings too. Saying, do you think I should do something like that?
I think maybe
or-
we should start doing something like that.
So, do you have anything else to cover today?
I think it's been a great show, and I think that's all there is.
We definitely got our money's worth today. So, hey, great time of year. Get out and enjoy the fall in October in Pennsylvania, and God bless America.